So one solution that that he delivered, like we can use the remote environment, but and here we have the tool that is Reward. So Reward is a tool. Using this tool, we can set up local dev environment, and this tool is based on Docker. That means we do not have to spend a couple of hours on setting up PHP, MySQL, Nginx, or Varnish, or RabbitMQ. So this all can be handled by Reward itself. And Reward is inspired by Warden. I think in Dan session somewhere someone mentioned about the Warden. So this tool is inspired by Warden, and it is created by Janos Miko. And this tool is written in Go. And most important thing is this tool is 100% free and open source, and it is available on GitHub. And this tool supports, like we can set up projects in Magento, as well as we can also set up Shopware, WordPress, PWA Studio using this Reward CLI tool, and we can set up multiple environments at the same time. So let's say we are working in Magento 2.3, and at the same time we can also run Magento 2.4 with PHP version 1 is with 7.3, and another one is PHP 7.4. As we can run on multiple environment, and this Reward tool has global services, that is PHP MyAdmin, Adminer, Mailhog. So if you want to access the database of our projects, then we can use this global service PHP MyAdmin. And the second important thing as a developer is if we want to test preview of our email, so then we have the global service Mailhog. So in this Mailhog we can check preview of our email that sent by Magento, that is set up by Reward. And I will talk more about the Reward cloud later on. Why it is better? As we already have Warden, then Markshut, Docker Magento, and we also have DDev. So why Reward is better? So there are a couple of key points here. Reward is designed for Magento development, and it supports SSL. So whatever project that we set up in Reward that runs on HTTPS, and it has the Xdebug to debug our code execution, and we can run multiple environments at the same time. So that means if we are running on two projects, then we do not need to down one environment before switching to the other env. And this tool is written in Go, means we can use Reward in Linux, Windows OS, or in Mac. And also this new feature is releasing soon, that is the plugin system. So in this plugin system we can define a set of commands that we can execute. So that plugin system is not released yet, but it will be released soon. And now about Reward in action. So now we will check one 15-minute demo video. In this video we have the fresh Ubuntu 22.04. In that we will first install Reward, and then after installing the Reward we will set up Magento 2 and then PWA Studio. So can we have the video, please? And please use this screen if it is not visible properly in the projector screen. Okay, so first let's check the Reward env documentation dashboard. So here we have the dashboard of the Reward documentation, and here we have a section of the installation of Reward, and then global services, And then environments. So the supported environments are Magento, Laravel, PWA Studio, Shopware, Symfony, WordPress, and then we have the user guide of some common commands. Please use this screen if it is not clearly visible on the projector screen. So after this user guide, now we have the installation step of the reward here. As the reward is based on Docker, so in pre-request we have to install the Docker and Docker Compose. So here we have the Docker 1. Docker 1. Reward also supports Docker version 2 as well. And here we have Docker Compose in our local system. Next, to install the reward, we have these two commands that we have to run. And we have the user guide to install reward on Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. So after run this two command, the next step is run the command reward install. So on run this command reward install, it will install the global services like traffic to manage domain, and then it will install Elasticsearch. So these are the installation steps of installing the global services. One is the next one is Mailhog, and then we have PHP MyAdmin. So after run this reward install command, we can import SSL certificate in our browser, as reward support SSL, so we can run HTTPS. So here we have links of global services. So that is phpMyAdmin.reward.test. On that URL, we can access database of our local environments. And then we have Mailhog. So this is the page for mailhog.reward.test. So here whatever email sent by the local environment, we can test here. And then we have phpMyAdmin to access the database of our local environment. So after installing the reward, now we are going to install Magento using reward. So these are the installation step of installing Magento 2 environment in our local. So let's first create directory in our local to set up Magento 2. After creating the directory M245, here this is the important command that we have to run, that is reward env init. And here in the second parameter, we have to specify the name of our project, that is M245. And here on run this env init command, it creates .env file, and this is the configuration of our project that we can configure. So here we can configure what services that we want to use, and also here we can set version of the services that we want to use. So here we have a couple of configurations, for example, domain name and then list of the services. And if we do not want to use any particular service, then we can toggle that the service from that boolean from 1 to 0, and then here we can specify the version. For example, let's say set PHP version to 8.1, and after configuring the .env file, let's up the PHP FPM container. So after up PHP FPM, we will configure our composer key. So here first let's get into our container using the reward shell command, and after that let's configure our composer key using the composer config command. And after configuring the composer key, this one is the important command, that is reward bootstrap. So this is the command that actually set up Magento 2 in our local system. And this reward bootstrap command has options. Let's check using the reward bootstrap help. So here we have a list of command. For example, we can set db prefix, and by default, if we want to disable two-factor authentication module, then we can pass the parameter disable TFA. And if you want to set up a full Magento with sample data, then we can simply pass the parameter full. And then the default mode that set here is the developer. If you want to change that mode, then we can pass parameter Magento mode. And then default Magento version, that is 2.4.4. And if vendor is already there in our project, then we can use the parameter skip composer install. And the last one is if you want to install the sample data, then we can pass parameter with sample data. So now next command that we are going to run is reward bootstrap. And let's pass disable TFA to disable two-factor authentication module by default. And here the version that is confirming here is 2.4.4, but if we want to change the specific version, then we can pass the parameter Magento version. And here let's set it 245P1. So on run this command, it will install fresh Magento without sample data. And as in the output we can see, it will set developer mode by default. And after enabling developer mode, the two-factor authentication module is disabled here, as we passed that parameter disable TFA. And now we have the basic information like backend URL, front-end URL, and by default it creates one admin user, that is local admin with random password. So as we can see, the Magento project is up, and this is the backend, and it runs over HTTPS, and the URL is m245.test. So this is the front end. And now, after setting up the Magento project, let's check how can we access the database. So for that, let's get the server name using rewardenv ps command. So here we can get the name of our MySQL container, that is m245db1, and by default username and password is Magento. So here we can access database of our local environment Magento that we set up. So after PHP myadmin, let's check how we can test email. So as we set m245 test, let's send one test email of contact us page. So on submit the contact us page, now we can check preview of email right here in MailHog. So here we do not need to install any third-party extension to check the preview of email. So in the MailHog, here we can test our emails. So after the reward booster console, here we set fresh Magento. But what about the ongoing project? If we so if we want to set up any ongoing project, then the steps are clone the repo and up the DB container and import the database using Rewardv import command, and after importing the database, we can run the command reward bootstrap. So after installing Magento 2, let's continue with installation of PWA Studio. To install PWA Studio, as we know that first it is required to install the Magento PWA package. So let's get into the shell and run the command composer require Magento PWA. After installing the Magento PWA package, let's install the vanilla sample data for PWA Studio. Now let's do setup upgrade and run all indexer. Okay, now let's clone the PWA Studio repository in our local. After cloning the repository, we will run the rewardenv init command. So in the rewardenv init command, we have to specify the environment type, that is PWA Studio. By default, it set Magento environment type is equal to Magento 2. But if you want to specify the different env, then we have to pass that parameter, and then let's self-sign this certificate and copy the required environment variable to our .env file. After copying the variable, we will check what we have in .env file to configure our environment for PWA Studio. So here we have a list of configurations that we can set for our local PWA Studio project. Here we have name of the domain that by default set pwstudio.test, and here we can specify which node version we want to use. So by default it was set to 10, but let's change it to 16, and if you want to use varnish, then we can change this flag from 0 to 1, and also here we can specify the varnish version if you want to change, then 6.5. And here let's change the backend URL to m245.test, the Magento URL that we set. And now let's exit the env file, and as part of the installation of PWA Studio, let's add the watch and start command, yarn watch and yarn start command in our package.json file. So after adding watch and start command, here in .env file, we have as we want to run our PWA Studio in the development mode. So we added yarn watch, and here we add the m245.test. Now let's up the env and let's install the dependencies using the yarn install command. After installation of all dependencies, let's restart the environment. And now we can see PWA Studio.test project is up in our local environment. And not only that, we have some list of useful commands. Let's say if we want to take i- if you want to import the database, then we can use the rewardDB import command. And if you want to export the database of our local env, then we can run rewardDB dump command. And if you want to check PHP or nginx log, then we can use the rewardenv logs command. So this is the list of useful commands that we can use for debugging or take backup of DB. Or so here we have a list of useful commands. So this was the 15-minute short video. In that we check how to install Reward and set up Magento and PWS Studio projects. So now let's get to the presentation. Okay. Okay, so now we check how we can set up environments in local. But what about if we want to set up our local environment to the cloud? Let's say in AWS or Microsoft Azure. So we are expanding to the cloud version. Can we have this? So in the cloud version, now we will have option to set up our local env to the cloud, either using the reward CLI command or web interface. And here we have here we have key features of Reward Cloud. So here we can pull the cloud env in our local. So let's say we set up our project on the cloud, and if any developer want to pull that environment in local, then they can easily do that using the Reward Cloud CLI. And not only that, but if they set up the local environment and if want to push that env to the cloud, then that can be possible easily using the Reward Cloud CLI. And we have the timeline here, as we are already in closed beta of Reward Cloud, and we will open beta in between Q2 and Q3, and we plan to go live in Q4 in 2023. Reward Cloud dashboard. So here in the from the Reward Cloud dashboard, the user can manage team and give access to the project, and as well as set up multiple dev env on the cloud. And we have one-click installer. That means we simply have to specify which Magento version that you want to use, and it will automatically create the dev and staging environments on the cloud. And we will have the full control over resources, and also we will have resource monitoring report, like how much what is the usage of disk, CPU or memory. So in last we have 3 QR code, as Reward CLI is 100% free and open source, and we have this Reward Slack channel. So if you get any difficulty while using Reward, and if you get any question, then please feel free to post your question in Slack. Definitely the community member of Reward will get back to you with right answer. And as Reward is free, and it is available on GitHub. So this second link is of our GitHub link, and the third one is if you want to join the wait list of Reward Cloud, then please subscribe it. So once we release the Reward Cloud, and once new features will be added, you will get notified. So thank you. This was about Reward. And Reward, for me, Reward Cloud is like if you want to set up your dev environment in local, then it is like famous dialogue of Johnny Lever, abhi karke deta hu.
Thank you so much, Piyush. Is anyone having question for Piyush? He would be happy to answer them. If anyone wants to ask something about Reward and or any other questions, yes, man in red, please. Just a sec, please you.
Yeah, can you recommend what should be the standard configuration of your laptop when you want to use something like this? Because especially in Windows, when you have sub Linux systems and all that kind of stuff, as you said, you can set up multiple projects, right? Mm-hmm. But when you do that, your systems get slow very, very well, right? I mean, it slows down. Your PHP Storm will not open, and there will be a lot of problem. If your database is large, if you have a lot of modules, then it will start causing you problems, especially with opening the Docker or the containers and all those kind of stuff. So how do we solve those problems?
Yeah, as Reward is based on Docker, right? So let's say if I have 3 or 4 projects, 3 or 4 projects in my local that I set up using Reward, and let's say if I get any difficulty on the performance wise, then what I do is, let's say if I am working on one project, then I will down the other 3 projects while I working on this particular project. So that is the way that that we can configure to utilize our local system resources.
Is there anyone else? Yes, please.
So actually it's for the local environments, right? So we can set up the projects on the local environment. So what is the main benefit of this one? Because so we can set up with the Docker, and this one is based on the Docker as well. So what is the main benefit and feature of this one to set up?
Yeah. So the main benefit of using this Reward tool is we can set up multiple environments at the same time, and it is specially designed for Magento, right? So that is the main benefit, and other key benefit is it's global services, that is a PHP MyAdmin and Mailhog. So let's say if you want to check the preview of email, then you do not have to install any third-party extension to check the preview of email in our local system. So whatever email sent through the project that we set up using Reward, that we can directly check in the global services Mailhog.
Yeah, so as you mentioned that if we are running with 3 or 4 projects with the same local environment, at that time we may need to down the other 3 projects and all that to run it properly. So I think the Docker is doing the same thing. So will it consumption of the CPU, will it manage all the things? Because if I am having a higher configuration like with the CPU and RAM in, then I can also run the multiple Docker, and I will can do the same thing, like I can down the Docker of the 2 instances and run with the one thing. So what is the benefit of that?
Okay, in that case the benefit is as I already mentioned, it is specially designed for Docker, and the another benefit it's global services, right? So that is the easiness on setting up the local ENV in our local.
Yeah, so like for if we are working with the Magento Cloud projects, so we can easily set up in the local environment with the Reward, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the cloud is not released yet, but it is already in the open beta. In that case, I recommend to subscribe the waitlist.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi Piyush, Neero Pancholi here from Surat again. So my question is like that, is it this reward CLI, what you are just referring here, it is the same backend for the reward cloud?
No. Actually, Reward Cloud is different. So let's say you set up your project in your local, right? And if you want to push that project on the server, then using the Reward Cloud CLI tool, then you can do that easily using the Reward Cloud CLI tool. It is not released yet. We are already working on it.
Actually, why I ask this, because the certain clients and certain level on a hosting, they require some staging sites, right? So reward CLI is possible to host with the varnish and HTTPS level secure channel you have just mentioned there, right?
Right.
So I was just thinking on that, how we can utilize this reward CLI to host the staging system. No doubt production is something different there, but what about the staging scenario? Can we use this CLI? It is that much of secure and
we are already working on the documentation of the Reward Cloud CLI. In that case, I recommend to please join the Reward Cloud waitlist.
Yeah, sure. And just one more small question about the Reward Cloud itself. It's the Reward Cloud is based on the container hosting service or the VPS based service? Container based service. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you for your presentation. That was good. And my name is Pushpa from Right Point. My question is this reward module or whatever is open source, right?
Yes.
So how this is making profit for the company? So it's not technical question, but
For that we have
Nice. Are you from sales team? Are you from marketing team? Please tell me about it.
I
No?
am backend developer. only.
Backend developer still, but good. Like the question.
Reward Cloud.
Oh, that is making profit.
Yes.
It's
Reward
sorry, I
Cloud
didn't hear that.
will not be free, of course.
Sorry,
Thank you.
I didn't hear that. I didn't catch that. So what did you answer?
Yes.
What did you answer to her?
Reward Cloud.
Can you please give a big round of applause for this guy? Thank you so much, Piyush. If anyone else has any question, you can meet Piyush outside, and he would be happy to answer your question.
Please feel free to connect if you have any question about reward, and feel free to post your question in Slack.
Yes,
we will
he gotta do
definitely
marketing, so
get back to
please
you
do
with,
that.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please give a big round of applause for him. Thank you so much.